Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please stay standing for a moment of silence.
Coming up on today's show, we share a Journalism 1 story
and help you with some spring break ideas. Get ready because RNE-TV Live starts now.
Good morning, Cavs. Today is Tuesday, April 4th, 2023. I'm Aaron Good.
And I'm Jordan Williams. Today is National School Librarian Day. Huge shout out to Mrs. Brown, Mrs. Williams, and Mrs. Johnson.
Let's get right into today's top stories. Yesterday was the 50th anniversary of the first public cell phone call. Martin Cooper, an engineer at Motorola at the time, made the call on April 3rd, 1973 from a sidewalk on 6th Avenue in Manhattan with a device the size of a brick. The call was received by one of the men he'd been competing with to develop the device. Martin, now 94 years old, says after the first call, manufacturing issues and government regulation slowed the progress of bringing the phone to the public. It would take a decade for that version of a phone to hit the market. For a hefty $3,900. It weighed 2.5 pounds and was about a foot tall. The modern cell phone didn't take off until the 1990s, as it was shrunk way down in size and became much more user-friendly. All eyes are on New York as Donald Trump prepares to turn himself in for Tuesday's historic arraignment in Manhattan. But it's not the only criminal case the former president is trying to fend off. CNN's Brian Todd has more on other Trump investigations underway.
From the Stormy Daniels hush money case, to the Mar-a-Lago documents probe, to the election interference grand jury in Georgia and the federal January 6th inquiry, Donald Trump is entangled in a web of investigations targeting him from many directions.
It's pretty remarkable that you have multiple different states, the federal government, all investigating the same person at once, but that person is the former president of the United States.
Trump now faces no fewer than 4 separate criminal probes. There's the history-making indictment in the Daniels case in New York, where Trump reportedly faces 30-plus counts related to business fraud. In Washington, a special counsel was appointed by the Justice Department to oversee a criminal investigation into whether Trump tried to interfere with the results of the 2020 election and whether he incited the January 6th attack.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol.
There's the Justice Department's Mar-a-Lago investigation into whether Trump illegally mishandled classified documents when he brought them to his Florida estate after leaving the White House. CNN now reporting federal prosecutors have obtained new evidence in the obstruction probe in that case, evidence like texts, emails, and photographs. And in Georgia, Fulton County DA Fonnie Willis is overseeing a special grand jury looking into whether Trump and his allies tried to overturn Joe Biden's 2020 election victory in Georgia by allegedly setting up fake electors and pressuring the Secretary of State to, quote, find more votes for Trump. Which of these cases might be the most likely to bring convictions against the former president?
I think the case that poses the greatest threat of the former president actually serving prison time is the Mar-a-Lago documents case that's being investigated by the special counsel. And the evidence, at least from what we've seen publicly, seems quite strong.
Conversely, which case against Trump could be the weakest?
I think the one that maybe isn't going to get across this finish line is the federal January 6th case. I don't think they'll be able to charge the former president with seditious conspiracy, and I don't know whether they're going to charge him with anything on the January 6th side of things.
This year's prom is on Saturday, May 20th. Ticket prices will remain at $65. Please purchase your ticket. Cheerleading tryout packets are now ready. You can pick up a packet from the main office. Conditioning for cheerleading began yesterday. Tryouts are April 26th, April 27th, and April 29th. Details concerning tryouts are outlined in the packet. If you have any questions, please contact Coach Butler at mbutler@richland2.org.
We'll be hosting our annual Spring Fling on Friday in our stadium. This event is for the entire school and will start at 1 p.m. There will be food trucks, activities, and so much more. We will also be holding our Powder Puff football game at this time as well. We can't wait to see you there. This week is the last opportunity to submit art or writing for RNE's literary magazine. We accept any type of art, photography, digital writing, poems, short stories, fiction and nonfiction, and original song lyrics. Visit the QR code posted all over the school or email Mr. Rawson for more details. Attention work-based learning students. It is now time to turn in your March work hours and supervisor evaluations. Please note the deadline for all work-based learning documentations is May 12th. Journalism 1 students produced their first broadcast stories last quarter. We will show some of them to you this week. First up, a group discovered the impact of international teachers. Here's RNE-TV Live reporter Blake Batet.
So 7 raised to -4.
Due to the teacher shortage currently sweeping across America and South Carolina, many schools have had to look for unique ways to fill these open roles. This has led to the addition of international teachers in our education system.
Having a foreign teacher is different. The dialect is different. The accent is definitely different. Saying different words, you may interpret as something else.
Along with these new international teachers has come cultural barriers, accent and dialect boundaries, and overall communication issues.
Understanding the culture of the United States or the schools in the United States was a little bit very challenging, very different from a country. So there were some cultural challenges.
Some of their dialects have different pronunciations of words, and it gets misinterpreted and kind of doesn't disrupt the lesson, but it makes it just a tiny bit harder.
But the teachers and students together have worked to move past these, and oftentimes this leads to success, sometimes more than a traditional classroom.
The students' behavior, the students' needs, and because we are in the diverse environment and we need to adjust.
As teachers, is trying to help them develop all their potentials to succeed, not only in the classes, but also in life.
As the education system continues to change, international teachers may be the answer to the teacher shortage. Reporting for RNE-TV Live, I'm Blake Patel.
Thanks, Blake. Spring break is approaching quickly or slowly creeping up. Depends on how you look at it. RNE-TV Live reporter Sam Wise is live with your Tip Tuesday to help you plan your spring break.
Good morning, Cavs. I'm Sam Weiss, and welcome back to another episode of What's Good. Today is Tuesday, which means it's time for a new Tip Tuesday. We all know the countdown for spring break is ticking fast. It's only 3 days away. If you're like me and want to get out the house, but you're not quite sure what to do yet, Luckily, I have some tips on last-minute places to go and things to do around the state. I'll start with some things pretty close to home. To start your day, you can hit up a breakfast spot downtown named the Flying Biscuit. They have all your favorite breakfast items like pancakes, waffles, hash browns, and grits. Another great thing about this spot is that they have plenty of options for vegetarians and vegans out there, so everyone can give it a try. After a hearty breakfast from here, you and your crew might want to go out and do something. A few minutes down the road, you'll find Craft Axe Throwing, which is exactly what it sounds like, a place where you can throw axes at a target for fun. This is a great place to have some fun competition with you and your friends, so definitely try it out. If you're looking for some new things to do, drive down the coast a little and you'll end up in good old Charleston. Now, in my opinion, Charleston is a little expensive, but going to Charleston can be a lot of fun and also learn a lot of historical facts that aren't boring. Now, most fun things in Charleston is in the heart of downtown, so you may want to prepare for some traffic. Activity-wise, consider doing the saltwater cycle. Personally, I've never done it, but I heard it's a lot of fun and a unique experience. There's also tons of museum options too, so I'm sure you can include that as well. Now for some food options. A popular seafood restaurant I would recommend is Hyman's. Not only is the customer service is amazing, but also their food is. And their hush puppies are mwah. On the other hand, I know not everyone eats seafood, so an alternative is Virginia's On King, which is a sophisticated southern restaurant. Not to mention, it has an exceptional rating. If the seafood and water cycles aren't really your thing though, just a few hours north is Greenville. And in Greenville, Topgolf is definitely the place to be. Usually I find usually people find golf to be a bit boring, but this makes it seem worth trying. Something else to do in Greenville is also the Speed Factory Indoor Karting, which is go-kart racing. Just from the name, you can tell the place is loads of fun. This is a great way to test out your great or not so great driving skills. You can't visit another city though without trying some food. So for the last tip I have is a newer restaurant called Windy City Burgers. As you can tell from the title, their specialty is burgers. Just looking at the pictures, you can tell they're full of flavor. I hope some of these places spark your interest. I'll definitely try to visit these places during my break. If you'd like to be featured on an episode of What's Good, tweet at RNE-Saber on Twitter and use the hashtag What'sGoodRNE. We'll be back on Thursday for What's Going On. Have a great weekend, y'all. Have a great day, y'all. Reporting for RNE-TV Live, I'm Sam Weiss. Now, back to the anchors.
Thanks, Sam. Reporting for RNE-TV Live, I'm Aaron Good.
And I'm Jordan Williams. Remember, it's a great day to be a Cavalier.